Hello, greetings, salutations, and welcome to the channel. As you can see, we're going handheld for this part of the review because today we were able to acquire Omega Supreme from the Transformers Siege line. This is their Titan class Transformer. And before I go any further, I want to give a special shout out to Robert Bonhomie from the Kingdom of Bonhomie, that awesome website where you can buy Transformers, Power Rangers, Star Wars, whatever you want off his site. Go check him out at thekingdomofbonhomie.com. There will be a link in the description below. And for all you New Yorkers who want extra stuff, give him a shout out, give him a call, and he will hand deliver this stuff to you personally. You know, when he don't have to wait for mail. I mean, you can order it off the site and he'll mail it to you. But how many stores do you know that will hand deliver stuff to you? Seriously. But yeah, I had to go handheld for this one because the box alone is ginormous. This thing is obscene. And with me, on the rare occasion, because I haven't had her in videos much, is the wifey, Kelsey Yasha Twinklemane. Say hi, honey. There he is. See, there's that cute little hi that I've been missing in my videos. Go check her out at Kelsey Yasha Twinklemane on Facebook. She does amazing cosplay, and she also promotes other cosplayers. So if you want to get your cosplay promoted, or if you just want to see some other awesome stuff, go give her a shout on Facebook. She's always ready to help you guys out. But we're going to take a look at all the parts of this box. This thing is, again, huge. This is ginormous. So we're going to get in close and look at the beautiful artwork of Omega Supreme, like shooting at some Decepticons. That big old claw of his. You know, more Decepticons trying to shoot him. You got the Seeker jets in the background, Cybertronian style. And I can only guess that's maybe Iacon City in the background. I don't know. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe that is Skyfire on the top there. Speaking of top, let's take a look at this. This beautiful artwork. From left to right, we got Ironhide, Chromia, Prowl, Optimus, Red Alerts, Hound, and Sideswipe. And we have every last one of these Transformers except for Red Alert, because I haven't picked him up yet. But all the others we have here, and I haven't done reviews on, I do apologize. I will get to it. Things have been a bit hectic, but this one was a must, thanks to Robert Bonhomie. Go check out his site. On the side, we have this picture of the Ark, which is very gorgeous. I might use this for desktop or background or something if I can. On the back, you have the obligatory product shot, Omega Supreme in his ginormous robot form, and his little Micromaster Buddy countdown, which is really tiny. I'm going to be honest, I'm not 100% a fan of the Lunar Rover style he becomes, but we'll talk about that when we get to the review. And we have Omega's tank mode, and we have the base mode, and when I get to talking about this base mode, believe me, this thing is ginormously huge. There is no describing how big this thing really is. But when we get to the actual unboxing of this thing, when I show them, you're going to see for yourself. And on the other side, we have the usual product shot of Transformers Siege. You got Chromia, you got Sideswipe, you got Hound, the picture of the Ark shooting up into space. And one more time, get to the turnaround of the box here. Get to the bottom. There's nothing really special on the bottom. So that's basically it for the packaging. That is it for the box, and a ginormous box it is. But without further ado, let's get this guy open so you can actually see what he's all about. And here we are with the overall base mode of Omega Supreme, and let me tell you, I had to go handheld for this because I tried using my tripod, and it's just not going to get everything the way I want it to. So we're going to zoom in, starting with the tank portion of Omega. Let's pick this up for a bit and move it off to the side. And forgive me if it's kind of bigger, bigger than the set. It rolls nicely like tanks should. The detail on this tank is very nicely done. It's got your typical Autobot symbol right there in the center, just like the main Omegas was. And the cannons move up and down. They both move all the way up and all the way down. And the cannon in here is centralized. But my main gripe with the cannon itself of the tank portion is that as you can see, it doesn't really move because it's locked in there for, you know, transformation purposes. The head is right there, the main head of Omega. And, you know, his little back head cannon, you know, nice little homage to the G1 version, because this here was usually the cannon on the back of the head. It's got two nice tank treads, wheels right there on the bottom in the center. And we'll show off more of that when we get to the transformation portion. On to the rest of the base, you can see the rocket is ginormous. Like this thing. Oh, this thing. It is huge. This measures literally 2 feet tall. It is ginormous. It is unnecessarily ginormous, this rocket part of the base. So it's just, let's take a good long look at this thing. In the back, we've got the claw that's part of the hand. We've got the rocket exhaust, like all those little ports right there for your special effects. You want to put the effects parts that come in there, you can put them right there. Sorry, right here in the center. Those holes in there. I'm not sure. I never tried them. See if they fit. But oh man, the rockets. This thing can jet forevermore. The claws are extremely well detailed. Nice orange paint. Nice translucent plastic for them. And the claws are very movable. We'll get to that when we get to the base mode. When we get to the, robot mode. Great detail on the rocket itself. All the detailing, all the molded detail. It's like really, they went all out pretty much with the rocket. So much intricate detail. I can't talk about it all. Every last part. All of it is so well sculpted. And you know, the holes in there. And the end of the rocket at the tip right there, very nice and long. I'm thinking about putting a bumper sticker on the back saying "We break for nobody." Hint, hint. Now, for the rocket door itself, where is that? I believe that was right up here somewhere. Forgive me, but this doesn't open. It doesn't like open for me very well, and plus, since I'm doing this one-handed, this is going to be rather difficult, so give me a hot second. Okay, right there, rocket opens there, and the top of the door, or the bottom of the door, it opens that way, so you could put your little Micromasters or figures. Deluxe figures will definitely not go in there. This was more made for the miniature figures, but in there some great detail. You got a nice dashboard, nice control panel with a screen in there. Man, your imagination can run wild in this bad boy here. But I did not expect coming in here that we would find a whole miniature station inside there. I love it. It's all gray paneling, but it's so well detailed, like a miniature command center, like I just said. So we're going to close that up. And we're going to come down here. Let's take the rocket aside. And we're going to talk about the base itself. Countdown is going to get the last part of this before we go into the base. It's a nice little bot here. Not much to say about this little guy because, as I said in the beginning, I'm not too big a fan of the whole lunar rover concept. Transformation is so easy. I actually can pull this off with one hand. You know, the legs are, you know, sandwiched back there. Basically, like there, nice big old feet. And, yeah. You can sit him down. I'm going to have him in a sitting position, just like that. See, he's right there. So, give me a second. Straighten up the legs. See, pretty simple transformation. Nothing too fancy. He's literally so simple that you can do it with one hand. And he doesn't have much articulation except for the hands, well, the arms going up and down. The hands have no motion. The legs, as you saw, do have enough motion. They go up and down. He can almost do a split. And, oh yeah, and the radar dish goes in the back. You know, it folds up right back there. But yeah, he's got a nice little, he's cute. he's cute. That's about all I can really say about him. Let's get in close so you can get at the face sculpt. Forgive the blur. Come on. There we go. It's a little bit clearer. Because I'm going handheld, so my phone camera isn't all that great. There we go. Nice. You can see it better. The face sculpt is pretty well done. He's got tiny little blue eyes, which are, I believe, painted in. I don't believe that's a sticker. I do think that's paint, but I can't really get in close enough to see. The back, you have the radar dish on the back of it. And the 4 wheels. Nice red and white combo colors, or red and gray. As I said, it's a cute figure. I'm just not a fan of the whole lunar rover mode. But he is a space rocket station, so I guess it fits the motif. Put him aside. And now let's get to talking about this base. This is a gigantic base. Scissors. Sorry. This is a gigantic base, and it is massive. Now, it does fit your deluxe figures. It does fit, say, Optimus, Sideswipe, Hound, whoever else you want. As you can see, the track comes all the way around on both sides of the figure. It is a nice looking track, very sturdy plastic, and I do like the attention to detail they gave here on the bottom, where they have the stands that hold up so the track doesn't flip-flop, go floppy down on here if you put figures on top of it. Now, on the subject of the track itself, in terms of what fits on here, the tank, as I'm pretty sure those of you who have this figure or those who have reviewed it before can tell you, this tank does not fit completely on the track like, the old G1 one does, and that one is a bother to me. It wasn't a deal breaker, obviously, because I did still pick this up. I don't like how it's too big. I mean, they could have made the tank portion a little bit smaller maybe, or made the tracks bigger. Not sure which is best, but it just doesn't fit on the track, and that's the only major gripe I have. As far as the parts itself, the door on both sides do open. There's a yellow port on the exact opposite side that does the exact same thing. And inside, we are going to take a nice look at this apartment complex, kind of studio apartment jam going on, where my man in there is just chilling. He could rest. You can put MicroMaster figures in there. Whee! But yeah, you could put, I don't know if you can maybe a little table, TV, some cable, but then since he's a rocket base, I imagine he'd have satellite. But yeah, both sides have this port that opens up. Now we're going to turn this around just a little bit so you can see the other parts of the base. You have the little rockets. The rockets are up here. I'm stupid. You have the ramps that can, vroom vroom for your little MicroMaster figures, your Titan Masters if they become vehicles and whatnot. Inside the hollow base of this HQ, there's not much to say about it. It does have some good sculpted detail. I like the fact that the whole thing is gray and white. You have the missile launchers. It would have been nice if they came out, but then you'd probably lose all these pieces. It is possible. So it's a good thing they're just sculpted in there and they're not removable. Now, on the top, you have the covers. They completely cover that up. And the treads, the tank treads, are removable. We will show that in transformation. And one other thing I will touch on is that right here, this does not come out well. Let me get my... I don't like to use the scissors for this, but I don't have a spudger. I don't have anything like that. There we go. Now, you would think that this connects to other parts, other bases, but it doesn't. The other Power of the Prime stuff. I forgot what this was for, except for the fact that these come off. Like, let's see. Let's see if I can get my other hand. Sorry. Sorry. You know what? Not sure what these do exactly. I will get to the transformation of this part later. But once we start to transform this bad boy, you will see the purpose of every little thing on here. And as I said before, on this side, this door opens up too. And inside, just like before, you've got the inner apartment workings. So yeah, if you wanted to play like this was a rocket base, or if you wanted to play like this was maybe a studio apartment setup for, you know, Micromaster or Titan Master Transformers, there you go. He's got it all. Omega is smoking hot, and I love it. I love how detailed this whole thing feels. It's smooth to the touch. And the only thing I'm not digging on Omega here is how all this is hollow, you know, in its base mode. I feel like maybe they could have touched it up with some form of decoration, just like they did with the in the rocket. You saw all the detail there. You saw all the detail in the base. You saw the monitors, the buttons and stuff. I feel like that would not have been too difficult for Hasbro to pull off. Maybe make another command center kind of deal in here. Because if you could do it in such a small space like the rocket, there's no way they couldn't have done it for this. So this part here, also on the bottom, it flips right up. And that's pretty much all I have to say about the base mode. We've looked at all three parts of it. We've looked at the tank treads. We have looked at the doors that open on the side. We've looked at the missile launchers on the back. This whole thing it's got a good hefty weight to it, so it's not too light. So you still be careful with it when you play with it. And in a moment, we will get to the transformation of this beast. One last thing I want to look at. Love the piping on the side here. Love how the detail is. This should have been maybe more on the inside too, but this is, you know, the back of the base / back of the robot mode. And I mean, it doesn't serve any purposes except for looking good, I think. But yeah, that's about it for there. So next, in a minute, I'm going to go back to stationary camera mode, and then we are going to get to transforming this beast. So I'll be back in a second. Okay, and we are now at the transformation portion of the video. As I said previously, this thing is massive, so we're going to have to do this piece by piece by piece. So first off, we're going to start with removing Countdown here. And you remember him, this little guy. I'm going to take him out. We're going to take this out for the moment. And this incredibly ginormous rocket, all of it. I'm going to take this out. And what we're going to do is, all that stuff's off to the side now. So we're going to start with the main base portion of this figure, because I feel that's the best way to start, because it's the biggest part of it. So the first thing you want to do is you're going to take the tracks right here, and they just pull right off, but be very careful with them, like that, and they just pull right off. Now, here, we're just going to fold them up, but first, before you do that, always remember, rookie mistake, fold these down, fold this down, fold that down, fold it up shut, and just like that. I'm Vanna Whiting this, I know. So, the same can be done for the exact other one. Just like that. And we're going to take that off. And take that off. And just like before, fold this down. Fold that down. Fold that down. And close her up just like that. And the wings off to the side for right now. Then, what you want to do is going to take this whole assembly here, and we're going to, see that there? These are the legs of the main bot here. But first, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take these and very simply just extend the legs. Just like that. Very easy. And then we take these bits here and wrap those around locking them into place, just like that. And then nice crunchy ratchet joints, like that. Very simple, right? And then I'm going to do a full turnaround. Just like that. And there you have the main body, just like that. And it's rather tall, you can't see it, but it's just there. So now, we are going to take the other parts. We're going to start with the tank. The next part, sorry, is going to be the tank mode. Put that there. Put this off to the side. And now we're going to take the tank. We're going to put these, actually, I want these up for now. And this here, we're going to take these bits on the side and want to lift these up. And they can be incredibly, incredibly tight. But, boom, get that up there, just like that. So now, that's nice and wide open. Then, I'm going to take this part from the back here, and you're going to take, see how that folded in half? I'm going to take that, and I'm going to fold that in half, just like that. And it should connect. See, now I want to show you, it's difficult to see. See these little white pegs right here? Right here, where my fingers are. I'm going to take those, sorry, and lock those right into place. See, just like that. So now the tank is kind of halved. So, my mistake was this was supposed to not lock in yet. There. Now, I'm going to turn this around. It's going to go up, and that's going to fold in just like that. Now, you see this? Omega's like this. This is his body, his torso and head. So, after that, what you're going to do is, you're going to take these, sorry, like that, the nose cones of the guns, and they're going to fit snug right in there, just like that. And they fit snug right in there, just like that. See that there? Now forgive me if I don't get all of the transformation in there, but hopefully you're seeing enough of it to see what I'm doing. And then we close this up, and bam. That's the main torso body right there. So now, we're going to move this back. This back over here. And we're going to raise the camera up just a little bit. So now, you can see the massive scope of this bad boy. He's really huge. Really huge. One of my biggest Transformers yet, but not my biggest. The biggest will come in time. You'll see that soon. Right here. And it's just going to slide right in there. Just like that. There we go. Just like that. See? The next part is we're going to get the arms on there. The arms is all in this one rocket here. This entire rocket is the arms in the back. So what the first thing you're going to do is I'm going to find the points. See where the hinges are right here? First, we pull these out, just like that. You know what I did? Slide that up, slide that back. Oops. Same thing with the other side. See? Comes apart like that. And then I'm going to take this whole piece here and right here. It's very difficult, at least for me, to see because of the way it's designed. So it's right there. That lifts up. That lifts up. And then that comes back around. So it comes off just like that on that hinge there. So what you do is you take these ends and they fold. See? Like this. They fold down and that folds down. Same thing on this side. Fold down, fold down. And this right here, just like that. And there's the arms. They're going to slide into the back. I'll show you how. I'm going to take this, turn Omega around completely, and then I'm going to take this turn around like that, and Oops, sorry. Now, the correct way to put the wings on like this is basically, you want to see to it that you've got this part here. Make sure it's this way on the left side and the opposite on the right. This being the left, this being the right. Keep in mind that I have this backwards just to show how to put the wings in. Now, this groove here, right there, is going to fit into one of these slots here. I believe it's this one. I think actually it's this one. This one here on the bottom. And you're just going to take that, make sure it's all lined up first. You want to have the wings up, and it slides in. There we go. These are going to hold it in like that there. Let's have it bent over just a bit like that. And the same can be applied to the other wing. Remember, you want to make sure, your most important thing, don't try to jam them in there like I was doing. And as far as this back piece here, one thing I do want to bring up is that I had to push this hard in the back to get it all the way just thrust in there. But, you know, on your toy, it might come looser, it might not. You have to just be very, very careful with it. So now I'm going to take this, I'm going to slide it in there. Just like that. Now I know you can't see the groove, but I can see it from where I'm standing. And there you have it. One last piece. One thing that I've seen a couple of people not bring up is that there's two little tabs right here. It's very difficult to show on camera, at least for me. So there's two grooves right here, and they're going to fit in these two little holes right here. And that locks this makeshift looking rocket pack into place. It too can be a bit difficult, but it only likes to fight me when I'm doing reviews. Just like that. I mean, you can leave it, it's not that big a deal, but for me it kind of is. And finally, I'm going to turn this all the way around. We are going to adjust. We're going to adjust. So, just move that down, and you got the claw, move this down, and you got the blaster. And there he is in all his magnificent glory, the amazing Omega Supreme. Finally, we have him in his gigantic robot mode. And let me tell you, he is huge. This video, pictures, other things do not do him justice. You really got to get him in hand to understand the absolute scope of this figure. This is just gigantic. I can't say that enough. But let's get in a little bit closer. Forgive the darkness, my lighting isn't all that great. So I can't get into too many close-up shots at the moment. We're going to switch to handheld momentarily so you can see all the other details. But here you have them rocket man boobs stayed intact during transformation. You can see all the juicy bits here of the guns. You see the head is fully rotational, and just like the classics Omega, you've got the gun in the back. You have the wings, and they're made of a nice sturdy plastic, as I said earlier, because these puppies here, they do well. They do very well to make Omega look like a winged beast, and they do well in his base mode to hold because of the stands on the bottom, which I commend Hasbro for doing. For articulation's sake, let me zoom this back a bit. I'm going to talk about the articulation first, which is not something I normally do. So, articulation, you've got the arms are on ratchet joints. They move up and down, back and forth pretty smoothly. They move up all the way up and around. If the wings weren't in place, you can get a full, complete movement. like that. Both arms do that, as I will show you. Like that. They move up. Both elbows are nice and tight, which is why I'm not going to be moving mine too much, save for the sake of stop motion. But it's going to primarily be stationary until I use them for that. As for the remainder of the body, you get some nice waist articulation, waist movement. It does go all the way around, as you saw in the transformation. The legs can do a full spread. Let me show you. Like that. This boy is heavy. He's a big boy. And you do surprisingly get some ankle tiltage. See here, you get some pretty decent ankle tiltage on both sides. So you can have him in some interesting poses if you so choose. Let's get him into one. Like, let's see. Turn, Omega, turn. Something like that. You know, he's got that good, ominous defender look going on. Let's back that up a bit. And you can see just how huge this guy really is. And now for the rest of this, we are going handheld, so I can show you the up-close spots that are really neat to look at. In this head, that head sculpt is pretty damn good. The only thing I really have a gripe about in terms of the head is he just has this, like he doesn't want to say much kind of face going on there. So, you know, that's my only big thing. I would have liked if they maybe gave us some interchangeable faces, like having this removable and, you know, take that off and have some faces underneath. The back does have light piping in it, but the only problem is I don't have any lights with which to show you. As I said before, it is fully tiltable. The head come around here. As I showed you, the rockets have the rocket, sorry, has the great detail. The claw is very posable. Get some good motion out of that. All the legs do that. So you can have them in some grabby positions. All the legs do that. You know, well, the legs, the claw legs, so to speak. On the bottom, we have the legs are very strong material right here. You have them in this pose, and what I'm really, really fascinated with, I love the idea, the ankle tiltage, so you can get him in this pose that I got him in. Very strong. Legs are nice and thick. Now, one thing I have heard a lot of people complain about is the legs here, the thighs, are either misproportioned, slightly colored, or wrongly colored. I'm not sure which one it is, but they do have a lot of complaints about the thighs. Me, personally, it's not a deal breaker for me. I do like the way they look. I like the overall sculpt of this entire figure. Bring it up to the top. You have the Autobot symbol dead center, just like in the tank, because the center is the tank. Come across to the windshield, the chest. Very nice sculpted detail. You can it almost looks like you can get a little figure in there, but you can't. But it is really neat. It's really neat the way they sculpted that and the attention to detail that they gave it. So, I'm going to go down. Is there anything else that I want to talk about? Not really, because this guy is huge. Words, pictures, overall, you know, overall reviews, I've seen plenty of them. This one included, because it's mine. This figure is definitely a must-have for your Transformers Siege collection. I can't say that enough. I will say it is very, very, very beautiful for Omega Supreme. Now, I know that there are other third-party figures of Omega that are a lot larger than this one, and to some, they will be the better figures. In terms of what's better, it's all a matter of opinion. Which Omega Supreme do you like best? Which model do you like best? You can go ahead and figure that one out for yourself. Me, I'm not a huge third-party guy. I mean, I do have one other third-party figure that I will eventually get to reviewing. But as far as the main bots, the entire Siege line that we've collected so far, this is hands down the largest and one of my favorites. I have another, and that favorite currently tied with Omega has to be Optimus Prime. Yeah, because he's smaller, and I will do a size comparison of Omega with the other figures in a separate video. At the moment, I don't have them out to do so. But this is it. This is him, the Transformers Siege Titan class Omega Supreme. Go out and get him. He's well worth it. And once again, big shout out to the kingdomofbonomi.com. You know, Robert Bonomi is a great guy who got me this figure, and he's been my chief supplier for New York. And for all you New Yorkers who are collecting Transformers, hit him up on his website. He's got Transformers, he's got Power Rangers, he's got Star Wars, and just to give you a quick glimpse of the future, also got this, SH Figure Arts Tommy, little sneak peek as to what's coming. Also, Power Rangers Lightning Collection Magna Defender, and Power Rangers Lightning Collection Shadow Ranger. This is just a sneak preview of what's coming. So, but that's all I have to say about Omega Supreme. He's hot. He's amazing. I say definitely go pick him up. So without further ado, this is Kylo, a.k.a. Kylonus, a.k.a. the NESMAN, saying, reminding you that growing old is mandatory, but growing up is optional. Childhood into adulthood, brotherhood and sisterhood. We love it all, and we love you all. Peace.